You know, I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually an identical twin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I have an identical twin brother who's a professor. He's a painter. He teaches art at the University of Maine, and so whenever the subject of twins comes up, I'm always very interested. And in this, so the imagery of twins who were then separated is a very meaningful image to me, and I think it tells a lot of the story actually. And I wondered a couple of questions that came up along the way here. I mean, I wondered, okay, is it possible for people who are twins and who are then separated, is it possible for a people who have been one to then eventually become two? You know, they were separated, and you said it's temporary, but, well, temporary right so far means 60 years. You know, is there some point at which they stop being twins, or I don't know? What do you?
I think it's after the Korean War, in which we became different to each other. We had different political ideology from then on, and that we couldn't come up with a resolution and come up with an agreement with one political system. That's why we became divided. And I think I actually agree with her that we are one nation, and the only problem with that is we're one nation, but we're different because there are not many interactions going on between the two states. Now I'm being a little dubious now. Yeah. But that's I think we're the same people and we're under the same roof as Koreans. But the only problem is because of the interaction, the problem is just getting worse. That we're seeing each other as different. But if there are more interactions going on, maybe there will be more people looking as the North Koreans as just Koreans like us.
So with more connection, what has become separated can come back together.
Yeah, I think that because we don't have like emotional, personal connections to the North Koreans, or because we're not very exposed to the North Korean culture, we don't know if they are the exactly same people as us, or we just do not have enough information to judge if they are our people or not.
What I think was that 60 years is a relatively long period of time. It's more than a decade. And as a matter of fact, we've been hearing about North Koreans who have fled to South Korea and married again, and they're having their own families. So with that continuing on for 60 years, I believe that even the concept of family kind of changed, because no longer do they have their families in North Korea. Now they refer to their family in South Korea. And for the new generation that have not been experiencing the Korean War, it's really hard for us to connect with North Koreans because there has, like you mentioned, there has been no contact. And we really feel that North Koreans are sort of foreign to us. That's how I felt.
I think she's identifying the gaps that we are facing right now from North Korea, the cultural gaps, the language gaps. However, I think those problematic stuff, those things that we do not share, is not much than what we share. Like historical stuff, language. You know, we don't have to like basically learn Kyungnyun from the beginning. And they don't have to learn it like that. We share more than what we don't share. So I think that those gaps could be filled through education, through exchanges right now too.
I think a lot of this idea that we have that we are one family, it kind of stems from, like maybe the history, we're taught in elementary school that we have this great ancestor that started the Korean generation. He's called Tangun. We think he's our ancestor, and North Koreans are also descendants of Tangun. And in elementary school, we also learn the song like "우리의 소원은 통일," and it's like our wishes to be unified. And so we have these very ideal hope that we're like one family, but we're separated through this tragic event, this war and this political system and such. But I think that's one issue, but it's really hard to identify ourselves as North Koreans, like for me as a South Korean, and I really was shocked, especially in the event where the Kipumjo, these girls, these cheerleaders from North Korea came to South Korea. And what happened was, in a rainy day, a picture of Kim Jong-il got wet. And they suddenly reacted in a very frantic manner. You know, they were very shocked that Kim Jong-il's picture was like out there in the rain and it's like wet, and they were crying, and you know, they were like, and they were panicking. And I thought that, wow, you know, these people are really, really different from us. And I thought that, wow, it's really hard to identify myself with them.
I hadn't heard about this incident, but what year was that?
I think it was
Very recently.
It was very recent?
Like 4 years
ago.
ago.
Really?
Oh, okay.
When they came to Eungwon, the 2002.
2002. I think when they came to root for our soccer team.
Yeah, soccer teams.
Yeah.
There
Okay.
were competition between.
Mhm. So it was that point that you said, wow, that's foreign.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
different.
That's
And-
because they're brainwashed. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the beginning.
I think it can also be changed by re-education because they are brought up in different circumstances and environments. We cannot be but different. Actually, my grandparents, my father's side's grandparents, are from North Korea. So when she said that, she answers that I'm a South Korean, but sometimes I don't know what to answer. I might, well, my passport says it's South Korean, but my dad was born in Korea, but then he's actually from North Korea, right? So why would you want to divide one country into two nations when we're actually from the same origin?